Okay, good morning, party people. It is December 5th. It is Monday. Is it Monday? Tuesday. Okay, I have today off. We have a birthday party today. Okay, so today we are, our daily reading today, we're back in the prophetic books. We're back with Isaiah. So Isaiah 35:36 is our daily reading. We've got Daniel 9:10. We're back at the beginning of Revelations, Revelations 1:2, Psalm 125 through 132, and Proverbs number 2. Okay, so we are back with Isaiah, and it's so amazing. So today in our reading of 35:36, chapter 36 in Isaiah is going over everything we just covered yesterday in Second Chronicles. I mean, there's no such thing as a coincidence with God. It's kind of really amazing, actually. And this is the story of Sennacherib and Assyria coming up against Israel and good King Hezekiah. So we were studying that yesterday, and we've been studying that in First and Second Chronicles in our study of that section of the Bible. We just covered it yesterday in 4 videos. It took me 4 videos to go through the story. And here in Isaiah, we're seeing his version of it, right? Which is where the chronicler that created First and Second Chronicles pulled some of his information. So just as a recap, for those of you that have not been following along for all these crazy Bible readings, this is our kings of the northern and southern kingdom. Here's the northern kingdom that are that broke away from God, and then here is the Davidic line. And we are talking about King Hezekiah all the way down here. He followed an evil king. His father was Ahaz. Hezekiah has a heart because he was a good king. And so what we're seeing here, and then also in this little map thing, we're showing here's Isaiah, and then here's Hezekiah down here. So you can see all the kings from the southern kingdom, and these are all the kings of the northern kingdom. And then this is the fall of the northern kingdom to Assyria, and then Assyria is now harassing the southern kingdom. They had a treaty at one point, and then eventually, as you see down here, Babylon breaks away from Assyria's dominance, and they end up taking many of the southern kingdom Jewish community captive to Babylon, and that's where you see the story of Daniel. Okay, so all of that to say, Isaiah can be tricky. So when we're in Isaiah, like today, chapter 35 and 36, chapter 35 is describing, Isaiah sees things that are happening right then and there in the northern and southern kingdom, because see his time of prophesying and work with the kings was not only before the fall of the northern kingdom, but also during the time of the southern kingdom's reign under Hezekiah and some other kings here. So his visions and his prophecy cover a lot of stuff. Some of it covers the northern kingdom, some of it covers the southern kingdom with Hezekiah and others. Some of it is addressing nations on behalf of God. He also sees visions of the future Israel under the ones that come back from Babylon, that are restored, that are going back to this land of Israel where Jerusalem is, and rebuilding it, with the people that are still there. So they're rebuilding the temple and all of that, which is why First and Second Chronicles was written, was to encourage those people that were going back. But Isaiah is seeing visions of that, and he's also seeing future messianic stuff. So I'm going to skip 35, because 35 is it's called The Future Glory of Zion. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. So I want you guys to read that, but I want to focus on 36 today because I've got a limited time. I've got to go to do birthday stuff today. But what's awesome about 35, when you read chapter 35, is not only is he seeing this is definitely a glimpse of when they're coming back from Babylon, but it's also definitely a glimpse of the future Israel, the way it is now. So when you see this here in chapter 35, verse 10, it says, "And the ransomed of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with singing, with everlasting joy on their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away." So that was definitely used by other prophets like Daniel when he was declaring that it was time for them to go back to the land, and he began to intercede and pray. He was also referring to Isaiah, and then there's also, when it talks about here the future glory of Zion, it says right in the beginning. Okay, might as well just cover some of this. Okay, because it's so amazing. Okay, chapter 35, it says, "The wilderness and the wasteland shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice." So here, what's amazing is when you see Israel current day, you see the things that they have done to the desert to They have become a major producer of fruits and vegetables and all kinds of produce, and they've basically made the desert blossom. I mean, many people have turned to this chapter and said, "This is what they're doing. This is the proclamation of this. This is the what do you call it? This is the the coming about of this prophecy of Isaiah. They've been able to make the desert bloom." And same thing, it talks about the verse 7, the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. So it's, again, the same thing. They've been able to bring up water and do things with the desert that are absolutely amazing. And they've made they've made the desert bloom, just like it says in Isaiah. So it's complete, it's just amazing. So what I want to get into today, though, is chapter 36, because that's where we are seeing Isaiah's story of this, what we just covered yesterday in 2 Chronicles, where King Hezekiah is now the king over the southern kingdom. So he's here, and he's faced with a dilemma, because Assyria, they'd had a peace treaty with Assyria, has now decided to break that peace treaty and has come up and is harassing Hezekiah. So I found a really cool map in my study Bible, and I want to see if I can show it to you, to show you how little Israel is, or Hezekiah's kingdom is, compared to Assyria. So this is, this is a map of the Assyrian Empire at this time, okay? So here we have Jerusalem. So that's the little tiny space of land, and all of this is the Assyrian Empire. And so there's Babylon, there's Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire. There's Damascus, and here's little tiny Judah and Hezekiah, right? So shows you how huge Assyria is compared to Judah. Judah, the kingdom of Judah. So I'm going to start 36 right now, and I'm just going to do a little bit, and then I'm going to do another video, okay? So it says 36, verse 1, Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the fortified cities of Judah and took them. So I just wanted to tell you that in the study Bible, it mentions that this is all recorded by the king of Assyria, Sennacherib. They have found all of this information that when he went out against different nations and attacked them and won and, brought back their captives. There's been documentation that they found inscribed that talk about this battle in the siege of Lachish, where he went in and took all these fortified cities around the southern kingdom. So this is all biblical archaeology. It's been proven. So when you hear people say that the Bible isn't true, there's no evidence. There's a lot of evidence. They haven't studied. Then the king of Assyria sent the Rabshakeh with a great army from Lachish. So he'd already besieged Lachish and taken it, which was a major stronghold, to King Hezekiah at Jerusalem. And the Rabshakeh, that's like a title. So that's like his spokesperson. It's a cool name, though. And stood by the aqueduct from the upper pool on the highway to the fuller's field. And Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph, the recorder, came out to him. So a delegation from the southern kingdom went out to meet the Rabshakeh. Then the Rabshakeh said to them, Say now to Hezekiah, Thus says the great king, the king of Assyria. Okay, so the study Bible made a point of saying there that the Rabshakeh didn't even refer to Hezekiah as a king, right? He was degrading him. He's just calling him by his first name, right? So then the Rabshakeh said to them, Say now to Hezekiah, Thus says the great king, the king of Assyria. But he's of course calling the king of Assyria great. What confidence is this in which you trust? I say, you speak of having plans and power for war, but they are mere words. Now in whom do you trust that you rebel against me? Look, you are trusting in the staff of this broken reed Egypt, on which if a man leans, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all who trust in him. All right, so I'm going to stop there and do another video. So this is where, remember in Isaiah, earlier we had seen Isaiah telling King Hezekiah, do not trust in Egypt. Do not go to them and ask for help. Rely on God. And so it looks like they had at some capacity begun to reach out to Egypt. Okay, so I'm going to do a second video. If you don't see the second video, Jesus is coming. Read your Bible. Peace.